Last summer, CodeMonkey gave steps for publishing your first game on Steam. Basically, create a prototype and Steam page in August. Make a playable demo by SteamFest in October. Work on publishing your game in November and December. Picked a game that I made for the 7-day roguelike challenge from 2022. The game is a time-traveling rogue game where you have 3 versions of yourself, your past, present, and future. What happens to you affects later time period versions of yourself. For example, increasing a stat for your past version will increase for your present and future. The dungeon, enemies, and items also have past, present, and future. But you can also time travel and have different versions of yourself play alongside each other. Your goal is to defeat all the enemies in each time period in order to progress to the next stage. Even though I had a game already, I wanted to redo most of the code since I made it during a game jam. I also want to use an ECS system. ECS stands for Entity Component System. This system is used in other rogue games like Caves of Cud and Ultimate Atom. The way it works is that there are entities that have a list of components. I call these components parts. Examples of parts could be hit points and stats, AI behavior, physical traits, weapon, armor, flammable. Code becomes self-contained, and it's easy to add parts to entities. Data for these entities are typed in an XML file. Systems are used for things like graphics, movement, and battling. Instead of using singletons, I use events to manage the flow. Starting over would take a lot of work. However, in my 2023 7-day roguelike entry, The Way of the Gods, I had created the system for that game. Before I completed the demo, I created the Steam store page for the game. I paid $100 to Steam and began making it. I wrote the description of the game and created the images. Many images. I didn't realize how many I had to make. They all had different requirements. After finishing up the details of the page, I submitted the page to Steam for approval. This took a few days. However, they informed me that some of the images needed to be corrected. I had to submit again and wait for their approval. This happened several times. I also had to make a trailer for the game. I used the old game to make the trailer and created music for the trailer, which is now in the game. I really liked how the trailer came out. I had about a week left to finish the demo before the October Steam Fest. Now I wasn't registered for the fest since the time had already passed, but I really wanted the demo to come out during that time. I finished up the demo the day the fest started. Unfortunately, I didn't know that you had to set up a Steam page for the demo, which needed to be approved by Steam. Also, after I finished the page, the demo itself needed to be approved. I made several mistakes when uploading, and each time Steam would send me an email to let me know. These things always took about a day or two to fix. In the end, the demo came out a week after the Steam Fest. Since the demo came out, I have been working on my game. I added a save feature that allows the player to continue a run. I added more abilities for the player to choose from and changed the way some of the stats work. I added resistances and status effects that impact the player. I've created a list of things to work on. I would like to say the list is shrinking, but it's not. I also created a spreadsheet of possible enemies and items. Enemies and items are from all different times and spaces. If you have a suggestion for an enemy, mention it in the comments below. I'm registered for the next Steam Fest in February, and hopefully my game will be out in March. Even though my game has not received my wish list, a little more than the number of subscribers I have, I am glad that I'm publishing my first game. This is a great learning experience, and I'm glad CodeMonkey gave this advice. You can wishlist Conqueror of Time on Steam now. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.